ചാർജ് ഇല്ല. അറിയില്ല.
ആപ്പിന്റെ മറ്റേ പ്ലേയേഴ്സിന്റെ ഇതുണ്ടല്ലോ, സ്കോഡിന്റെ അത് ക്യാപ്റ്റന്മാരെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ഏതിന്റെ? ആപ്പിന്റെ
എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ഇതിന്റെ പ്ലേയേഴ്സിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഒക്കെ ഇല്ലേ, അത് ക്യാപ്റ്റന്മാരെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്.
ഇവരൊന്ന് വിളിക്കോ? ഇത് മൈക്കൊന്നും സെറ്റ് അല്ല, ബാറ്ററി ഇല്ല. പഠിച്ചോനറിയാം. ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ഓഫ് ആവുന്നുണ്ട് ബാറ്ററി എന്ന് അറിയില്ല. ഞാൻ അതിൻ്റെ അകത്തുള്ള ഒരു ബാറ്ററി മാറ്റി. അതന്നെ. അതുവർക്ക് ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ഇതിൽ ഇവരിൽ എക്സ്ട്രാ ഇല്ല. എല്ലാ ടീമിനും വാങ്ങണം, എല്ലാ പ്ലേയേഴ്സിനും അത്ര മാത്രം. 8 ടീമുണ്ട്. ഒരു 85 ഉണ്ടോ? എന്തേ?
ഒരു പ്ലെയറിനെ ഒരു ടീമിൽ പോയിട്ടില്ല, നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തതല്ല, ഇവര് നേരത്തെ ചെയ്തു വെക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. അത് പോയിട്ടില്ല.
എന്ത് പോയിട്ടില്ല?
ആ പ്ലെയറിനെ അതിനകത്തോട്ട് ഇതാക്കിയിട്ടില്ല,
ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഈ ഓപ്ഷനിൽ ഇല്ല എന്ന് പറയണേ. അത് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് സ്ക്രീനിൽ ഇട്ട് കൊടുത്താൽ പോരെ? ഇനി ആഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
സിജാദിന്റെ നമ്പർ എത്രയാണെന്ന് അറിയുമോ? അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം. സിജാദല്ലേ? ഇതാണ് സിജാദ് 33
36 അല്ലേ?
ഇത് ആർക്കാണ് പോയിരിക്കുന്നത്? എത്ര പോയിന്റാ പോയിരിക്കുന്നത്?
ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? സെറ്റാ? ഓക്കെ, ഞാൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ഏത്? അത് അതായത് 3
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the battlefield of fates and war of wisdom. This is Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. We have 8 powerful teams and hundreds of players going to the under the hammer today. Once again, on behalf of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 committee, I would like to welcome all of you, all the team captains, owners, and all the team members. Once again, welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. We have, I'll be briefing a little bit about the auction. The auction will start base price 1,000 base price, and every team you can start calling with 500 on each calls until 3,000. Once the 3,000 reaches, every call will go for 1,000 till the 10,000. Once the 10,000 reaches, and you can call it at a time 2,000, 2 to 5,000 maximum. I hope is it clear? The first base price 1,000, you can start the call 500 each. Each call you can raise it up 500 till 3,000. Once the bid reach the 3,000, you can call it 1,000 per call till 10,000. Once the bid reach to 10,000, you can call minimum 2,000 raise up and maximum 5,000. If you want any player to be go ahead with the 15,000, you can go. That is the maximum amount. Minimum you can start after 10,000. Right away you can go for 12,000. At a time, minimum you can 2,000, maximum 5,000 is the bid. I hope is it clear? Any question on the bidding? We are good to go for the next stage. നമ്മൾ ബേസ് പ്രൈസ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് 1,000 ആണ്. 1,000 കോളിനാണ്. എല്ലാ ടീമിനും 500 കോൾ വെച്ച് വിളിക്കാൻ പറ്റും ടിൽ 3,000 വരെ. 3,000 റീച്ച് ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ? ടിൽ 3,000 റീച്ച് ആവുന്നവരെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് 500 കോൾ വിളിക്കാം. എവറി കോൾ 3,000 റീച്ച് ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എവറി കോൾ വിൽ ഗോ 1,000. 10,000 വരെ നമുക്ക് 10,000 വരെ 1,000 വിളിക്കാം. 10,000 റീച്ച് ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മിനിമം ഒരു പ്ലെയറിന് 2,000 കൂട്ടിയിട്ട് വിളിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. മാക്സിമം 5,000. അതിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ പറ്റില്ല. സോ 5,000 or 2,000 ഈ 2 കോളാണ് 10,000 നിങ്ങൾക്കുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ. അത് നിങ്ങൾ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്ലാൻ അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് ഏതെങ്കിലും പ്ലെയറിന് ഹൈ ബിഡ് പോകണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആഫ്റ്റർ 10,000 at a time you can go 15,000. 2,000 മിനിമം വിളിക്കാം നിങ്ങൾക്ക്. 2,000 മിനിമം, മാക്സിമം 5,000. അതായത് അറ്റ് എ ടൈം 10,000 വിളിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. 6,000 നോ. Without wasting any further time, we would like to move ahead. I would like to call each team name. I would request you to raise up your flag on the table. The first team to be welcome, Zaitun Sizzlers. Can you raise your flag, please? Zaitun Sizzlers. May I have your attention, please? If you are not supportive, we will have a lengthy time to go, and it will take even longer to complete the auction because we have a plenty of players to be auctioned here. So I would like to call first team, Zaitun Sizzlers. Can you raise up your flag? Welcome to the Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. The second team, Clummy Fighters. Can you raise your? Welcome to the Nadapuram Premier League. Third team, Sweet Wall Stars. welcome to Nadapuram Premier League. The 4-team KP Chai Heroes, welcome to the KPL 4. The 5th team Hukal Chai Strikers, welcome to NPL Nadapuram Premier League. The 6th team Eat and Drink Blasters, welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Player Auction. The 7th team Al Irshad Computer Group, welcome to Nadapuram Premier League. The 8th team Asia's Royals, welcome to the Nadapuram Premier League Player Auction Season 4. I would little bit brief about before we get into the auction. Every call, each player, the final call will go for 3. So in the 3 calls, if you raise the flag at a time 2 team, the auction will continue further bidding. It will not move to any other teams unless any of the team has raised in the first and the second team raised on the later. At a time, if the both team raise your flag, the bid will continue. So I hope it's clear. അതായത് ഇപ്പൊ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്ലെയറിന് 2 ടീം അറ്റ് എ ടൈമിൽ 3 വിളിക്കുന്നതിന് ആ സമയത്ത് ഫ്ലാഗ് പൊക്കി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ഓപ്ഷൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യും. അതായത് അവിടെ നമുക്ക് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അതൊരു സെക്കൻഡ് ഫ്രാക്ചർ ഡിസിഷനാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്ഷൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് ടീമിന് താല്പര്യം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ബിഡ് കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുക, അല്ലാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ബിഡിനെ അവർക്ക് ആ പ്ലെയറിനെ ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യാം. ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇപ്പം ലിസ്റ്റിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പ്ലെയർ ലിസ്റ്റിൽ വിളിച്ചെടുത്തിട്ട് അവസാനം നിങ്ങളുടെ ടീം ലിസ്റ്റിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്ലെയർ സ്കിപ്പായി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, നിങ്ങളുടെ ടീം സ്ക്വാഡിൽ നിന്ന് ഫൈനലായിട്ട് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്ലെയർ സ്കിപ്പായി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് പ്ലെയേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒരു സജഷൻ ഈ പ്രീമിയർ ലീഗിൽ ഇല്ല. അതായത് കമ്മിറ്റി ഓൾറെഡി ഒരു റിസർവ്ഡ് ലിസ്റ്റ് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് കുറച്ച് പ്ലെയേഴ്സിനെ വെച്ചിട്ട്. ആ റിസർവ്ഡ് ലിസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ നറുക്കെടുത്തിട്ടാണ് ആ പ്ലെയറിന് ഏത് ടീമിൻ്റെ പ്ലെയർ ആണോ മിസ്സിംഗ് ആയത് അവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. അതായത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിൽ ചോയ്സ് പോലില്ല. ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? കാരണം ഇപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും ടീം വിളിച്ചിട്ട് ബിഡിങ് ചെയ്ത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ 11 or 12 സ്ക്വാഡ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയതിനു ശേഷം അതിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്ലെയർ സ്കിപ്പായി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് നിന്നൊരു പ്ലെയറിനെ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ചോയ്സ് ഈ പ്രീമിയർ ലീഗിൽ ഇല്ല. അവർ റിസർവ്ഡ് ലിസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്. ആ റിസർവ്ഡ് ലിസ്റ്റിൽ നിന്ന് അതിൽ നിന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നറുക്കെടുത്തിട്ടാണ് ആ പ്ലെയർ ഏത് പ്ലെയർ ആണോ കിട്ടുന്നത് ആ പ്ലെയർ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കളിപ്പിക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? I hope the rules and regulations are clear. If you have any question at this moment, you can raise up your hand. We will clear it. Because later we don't want to have any conflict on this because the auction will keep continue. Before we proceeding to the auction, I would like to thank our title sponsor, Al Irshad Computer Group. Thank you so much for your wonderful support for the title sponsoring. And our official franchise is Al Irshad Computer Group, KP Chai, and the Sweet World, Asia Signature of Trust, Eat and Drink, Zaitoon, Plummy, Hokal Chai, and Mashad, our jersey sponsor. Thank you so much for your wonderful support, and we are witnessing a wonderful evening with the wonderful players here. Thank you so much. Without wasting any further time, let the Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction fire begin. First player to be on the screen right now, player name Siddiq Kayam. We're going to start with the base price 1,000 for Siddiq. What a start from Zaitoon Sizzlers. 1,500. 1,500 from Flummy Fighters. 1,500, 2,000 from Sweet, 3,000 from Sweet World, 2,000 for Sweet World. Siddiq KM. Screen will come back to. നമുക്കതിന് ഫ്രണ്ടിലടിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? നമ്പർ പറഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്ലെയേഴ്സ് ലിസ്റ്റ് ഇല്ല അവരുടെ കയ്യിൽ, എല്ലാവരുടെ കയ്യിലും അല്ല, അത് നോക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല അവർക്ക്. പ്ലേയേഴ്സ് ഐ ഡി പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആ ലിസ്റ്റ് നോക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ഇൻ കേസ് അത്ര വിസിബിൾ അല്ലാന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ ലിങ്ക് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ലിങ്ക് ഇല്ലേ? ഇല്ല, മാക്സിമം ഇപ്പൊ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ കുറച്ചെങ്കിലും? I think it's much better now. We have our first player on the stage, Siddiq KM. The first current bid on going on 2,000 from Sweet Wall Stars. 2,500 KP Chai. 3,000 Kokal Chai. 3,000 Kokal Chai is the latest bid. Kokal Chai 3,000. 3,000 Kokal Chai first call. 3,000 for Kokal Chai second call. 3,000 for Kokal Chai's third call. Players sold to Kokal Chai for 3,000. This is the first player to sold to Kokal Chai for 3,000. This is Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. First player to sold to Kokal Chai is Siddiq KM, right arm fast bowler and right arm batsman. We have our next player on the screen. Player name Afsal. Player ID 35. Afsal base price 1,000. 1,000 for Asia's, 1,500, 2,000. For 1,500, 2,000 Zaitoon. 2,500 Sweet Wall. 2,500 Sweet Wall is the latest bid. 2,500. Globoki. 2,000 Zaitoon is okay. 2,000 for you. Is that okay? 2,000. 2,000 is the latest bid for Zaitoon. 2,000 Zaitoon. First call. 2,000 for Zaitoon is the second call. 2,000 for Zaitoon is third call. Players sold to Zaitoon Sizzlers. A bid price 2,000. Player name Afsal. Right arm bowler and right arm batsman. We have a next player on the screen, Abdul Salam. Abdul Salam, player ID 91, base price 1,000. 1,000 for Abdul Salam. Anybody bidding for Abdul Salam? Base price 1,000. 1,000 for Abdul Salam. First call, Sweet Wall Stars, base price 1,000. 1,000 base price for Sweet Wall. First call. 1,000 base price for Sweet Wall. The second call. 1,000 base price for Sweet World is third call. Players sold to Sweet World Star for base price 1,000. Player name Abdul Salam, right arm all rounder. We have a next player on the screen. Player ID 51, Junaid. Junaid base price 1,000. Kokal Shah 1,500 Al Irshad. 2,000, 2,500 Osias. 2,500 Osias is the latest bid. 2,000, 3,000 Flummy. 2,000 for Flummy. First call. 2,500, 3,000, 3,000 eat and drink. 4,000 Osias. 5,000 Zaitoon. 10,000. 10,000 from KP Shah. 12,000, 14,000 Alisha. 12,000, 14,000, 16,000, 18,000, 20,000. 20,000 for Kokal Shah. 22,000 Sweet World. Once again, 24,000 back to Kokal Shah. 26,000, 28,000 Kokal Chai.
Okay, one call will get 30.
30,000 Sweet World.
Current bidding, huh? Okay. എന്താ ചെയ്യാ 5,000 അടിക്കണോ? ബിഡിങ് 20,000 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് 5,000 ആക്കണം. 2,000 വെച്ചിട്ട് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അവർ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് 5,000 ആണ്.
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We request your attention for just 5 more minutes, please, because we're going to set up with this first high call bid. So we need to set up on this system. We request your attention on 5 minutes, please. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
അതങ്ങനെ തന്നെയാണ് വേണ്ടത്. Points per team 15,000, base bid 1,000, bid. ഇങ്ങനെ പോട്ടെ, എന്താ പ്രശ്നം?
അത് ചോദിച്ചു നോക്കിയാ അവര് 2000 എന്നാ പറയുന്നത്.
2,000 നിങ്ങൾ 5,000 സെറ്റ് ആക്കിയത്?
പിന്നെ വിളിച്ചു പോയിട്ട് പിന്നെ കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ.
മൈക്ക് ഓഫ് ഇറ്റ്. ബൈ, നിങ്ങളുടെ മൈക്ക് എവിടെയാണ്?
ഒന്ന് വിളിക്കാൻ പറഞ്ഞേ. മുഹമ്മദിനെ വിളിച്ച പക്കടിക്കാൻ. ഒന്ന് വിളിച്ച പുള്ളിയെ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ?
അവരെ സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നേ? ഞാനിട്ടില്ല കേട്ടാ. ഇല്ല, മറന്നു. സ്വിച്ച് ഓഫ് ആ മൊബൈല്.
9:05 വരെ
94133 94133 SMS. ഏതാ നമ്പർ? ഏതാ ദുബൈ? ആ, ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് നോക്കിയിരിക്കാം. ഇതല്ലേ 94133 214CL. ഇത്
ജുനൈദിന്റെ അല്ലേ പൊക്കോണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്? എത്ര ലാസ്റ്റ് ബിഡ്?
30.
ആരാ? ഇല്ല, വീണ്ടും 5,000 വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് കയറുന്നത്.
ഇല്ലാന്ന്. ഓ സോറി. ഇൻവാലിഡ് എന്നാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്.
ജുനൈദിന്റെ എത്രയായിരുന്നു നമ്പർ? 90.
ആ ഓക്കെ. ഇത് SMS ഫോണില്ല. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്.
30,000 ആരാണ്?
30,000 കോക്കൽ ഷായ്.
ആ പാർക്കിംഗ് കിട്ടി വിളിച്ചാൽ മതി.
ഇനി എന്താ അവർക്ക് പറയണോ 20 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്?
അല്ല വേണ്ട ഓക്കെയാണ് 2000
ഇല്ല 94133 ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്.
ദുബായാണ്
ആ
ദുബായാ
ആ
കോഡ്
94133
കോഡ്
W. ഉണ്ടോ?
9
ഞാൻ 2 പ്രാവശ്യം മൊബൈൽ സ്ക്രീൻ ഓഫാ. ഞാൻ അടിക്കാം. ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ അൻവർക്ക്? സെറ്റല്ലേ?
Sorry for the inconvenience. We're back on the bid now. The player Junaid, we have current bid going on 30,000 from Kokal Chai. 30,000 for Kokal Chai. 32,000 Sweet World Stars. 32,000 Sweet World. 32,000, 34,000 Kokal Chai. Back to Kokal Chai for 34,000. 34,000 for Kokal Chai, first call. 34,000 for Kokal Chai. 36,000 back to Sweet World. 36,000 back to Sweet World. 36,000 for Sweet World. 38,000. Eat and drink. New bidder get it. 38,000. 38,000 for eat and drink. First call. 38,000 for eat and drink. Second call. 40,000, 42,000 KP Chai. New bidder get in for 42,000. 42,000 KP Chai, first call. 42,000 for KP Chai, second call. 42,000 for KP Chai's third call. Players sold to KP Chai for 42,000. And this is the highest bidding player for Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. 42,000 players sold to KP Chai Heroes. Player named Junaid, right arm all-rounder. Congratulations Junaid. The new star raising up for KP Chai Heroes. 42,000 is the highest bid so far in this player auction of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, player ID 11 Muhammad. Muhammad, a right arm all-rounder. Base price 1,000 for Muhammad. 1,000 base price. Asia's 1,500 Kokal Chai. 1,500 Kokal Chai. 1,000, 2,000 eat and drink. 2,500 Kokal Chai. 2,500 is the latest bid from Kokal Chai. 3,000, 4,000 Al Irshad. 4,000, 5,000 back to Kokal Chai. 6,000, 7,000 eat and drink. 8,000 Plummy. 8,000 for Plummy, first call. 8,000 for Plummy is the second call. 9,000, 10,000 Zaitun, back on the bid. 12,000 Kokal Chai. Once again Kokal Chai on the high bid now. 14,000 Sweet World Stars. 16,000 Plummy. 16,000 Plummy, first call. 18,000 Zaitun Sizzlers. 18,000 back to Zaitun. 20,000 Plummy. 20,000 for Plummy, first call. 20,000 for Plummy Fighters, second call. 22,000 Al Irshad. 22,000 Al Irshad, the new bidder get in. 24 back to Plummy Fighters. 24,000. 24,000 Plummy Fighters, first call. 24,000 for Plummy Fighters, second call. 24,000 for Plummy Fighters will be the third call. Players sold to Plummy Fighters for 24,000. Player name Muhammad, right arm all-rounder. Players sold to Plummy Fighters for 24,000 for the decent amount. Another rising star, Muhammad MSD, will be raising up along with the Plummy Fighters for this season of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. We have another player on the screen, Ajinas. Right arm all-rounder Ajinas. Base price 1,000 right away goes to Kokal Shai. 1,500 Asias. 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. 3,000 back to Kokal Shai. 4,000, 5,000 Asias. 6,000 Kokal Shai. 6,000, 8,000 Asias. 8,000 Asias first call. 8,000 for Asias. 9,000, 10,000, 12,000. Eat and drink, the new bidder get in 12,000. Eat and drink, 12,000, the new bidder get in. 12,000 for eat and drink, first call. 12,000 for eat and drink is the second call. 12,000 for 14,000 back to Kokal Shai. What a bidding having for Kokal Shai. 14,000, 14,000 for Kokal Shai, first call. 14,000 for Kokal Shai, second call. 14,000 for Kokal Shai. I'm going to close the bid for Kokal Shai. That's the third call for Kokal Shai. For a 14,000, Ajinas, right arm all-rounder, sold to Kokal Shai Strikers for 14,000. Congratulations, Ajinas, and welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. Another player on the screen, Ajinas VK. Right arm all-rounder Ajinas, base price 1,000. 1,000 base price, 1,500 Plummy. 2,000 Kokal Shai, 2,500 black to Plummy. 3,000 Asias, 3,000 for Asias, first call. 3,000 for 4,000, 5,000 Plummy Strikers. 5,000 for Plummy Strikers, first call. 5,000 for Plummy Strikers, second call. 5,000 for Plummy Strikers, third call. Player sold to Plummy Strikers. Right arm batsman, Ajinas VK. Sold to Plummy Fighters 5,000. Another new phase, sold to Plummy Fighters. We have another player on the screen, player ID 53. Salih Mavilat. Salih, wicket keeper. Base price 1,000 for Salih. 1,000 base price for Salih. 1,000 from KP Chai opening bid. KP Chai Heroes 1,000. Salih 1,000 for KP Chai. First call. 1,000 base price for Salih. KP Chai. Second call. 1,500 Sweet World getting. 1,500 for Sweet World. First call. 1,500 for Sweet World. Second call. 2,000 back to KP Chai. 2,000 KP Chai first call. 2,000 for KP Chai second call. 2,500 back to Sweet World. 2,500 first call. 2,500 for Sweet World second call. 2,500 for Sweet World is third call. Player sold to Sweet World for 2,500. A player named Salih Mavilat, wicket keeper and right arm batsman. Next player on the screen, player ID 87, Saukat Ali, right arm all-rounder. Saukat Ali, base price 1,000. 1,000 for Saukat Ali, starting with Asias. Base price 1,000 for Asias. 1,000 base price for Saukat Ali. 1,500 Plummy Fighters. 1,500 for Plummy Fighters. 1,500 first call. 2,000 Al Irshad. 2,500 back to Plummy Fighters. 3,000 back to Al Irshad. 4,000 new bidder get in Zaitoon. 6,000 Al Irshad. 6,000 back to Al Irshad. 6,000 Saukat Ali. 6,000 Al Irshad first call. 6,000 for Al Irshad second call. 6,000 for Al Irshad third call. Player sold to Al Irshad Computer Group. Player named Saukat Ali. Right arm all-rounder. Sold to Al Irshad Avengers 6,000. The next player on the screen is Salih. Right arm all-rounder. I'm sorry. The player is invalid. Another player on the screen, Muhammad Jamshir, right? Left arm all-rounder. Muhammad Jamshir, base price 1,000, starting with Asias. Starting with Asias, base price 1,000 for Asias, 1,500 KP chai. 2,000 back to Asias. 2,000 for back to Asias, first call. 2,000 for Asias, second call. 2,500 Al Irshad. 2,000 for 3,000 back to Asias. 3,000 for Asias, first call. 3,000 for Asias is the second call. 3,000 for Asias will be the third call. Players sold to Asias for 3,000. Congratulations, Muhammad Jamshir. You're gonna be new face of Asia's Royals for 3,000. Bidding price, player ID 72. Next player on the screen, Munir. Right arm all-rounder Munir, base price 1,000 right away from Kokalshai. Base price 1,000 for Kokalshai. 1,500 Plummy, 2,000. 2,500 back to Kokalshai. 3,000 Plummy fighters. 4,000 Kokalshai. 5,000 Plummy fighters. 5,000 Plummy fighters is the latest bid. 5,000 for Plummy fighters, first call. 6,000 Asia. 7,000 Kokalshai. 7,000 for Kokalshai, first call. 7,000 for Kokalshai. 8,000 back to Asias. 9,000 Street World. 10,000 Eat and Drink. The new bidders get in for 10,000 is the latest bid from Eat and Drink. 12,000 Asias. 12,000 for Asias, first call. 12,000 for Asias. 14,000 back to Street World. 14,000 for Sweet World, first call. 14,000 for Sweet World is the second call. 14,000 for Sweet World will be the third call. Players sold to Sweet World for 14,000. Player ID 21, player name Munir, right arm all-rounder, sold to Sweet World Star 14,000. Congratulations, Munir. The next player on the screen, player ID 76, Pachi. Right arm all-rounder, Pachi, base price 1,000. 1,000 for Plummy. 1,500 Kokalshai. 2,000 Zaitoon. 2,500 Kokalshai. 2,500 is the latest bid from Kokalshai. 3,000 back to Plummy. 4,000, 5,000 Al Irshad. 6,000, 7,000 Kokalshai. 8,000 Plummy fighters. 9,000 back to Kokalshai. 10,000 Plummy fighters. 12,000 Kokalshai, 14 Plummy. 14,000 Plummy fighters, first call. 14,000 floor Plummy, 16 back to Kokalshai. 16,000 for Kokalshai, first call. 16, 18 new bidder get in, Eat and Drink. 18,000 first call. 18,000 for Eat and Drink, first call. 18,000 for Eat and Drink is the second call. 18,000 for Eat and Drink is third call. Players sold to Eat and Drink Blasters. Player ID 76, player name Pachi. As a new rising star for Eat and Drink Blasters for 18,000. Welcome to Nadapuram Player Auction Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 98. Nandesh Kumar, right arm all-rounder. Nandesh, base price 1,000. 1,000 Kokalshai. What an auction is having from Kokalshai. 1,000 base price for Kokalshai. Base price 1,000 for Kokalshai, first call. Base price 1,000 for Kokalshai. 1,500. 2,000. 2,000. 2,500 back to Kokalshai. 2,500 back to Kokalshai. First call. 3,000 Sweet World. 4,000 Al Irshad. 4,000 Al Irshad, first call. 4,000 for Al Irshad, second call. 4,000, 5,000 Sweet World. 5,000 for Sweet World, first call. 5,000 for Sweet World, second call. 5,000 for Sweet World is third call. Player sold to Sweet World for 5,000. Player ID 98, Nandesh Kumar, right arm all-rounder. Congratulations and welcome to NPL Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 40, player name Nasil, right arm all-rounder. Nasir, base price 1,000. Anybody for Nasil? Asias is the starting bid for 1,000. Nasir, 1,500 plummy fighters. 1,500 plummy. First call. 2,000 back to Kokal Chai. 2,500 plummy fighters. 2,500. 3,000 back to Kokal Chai. 4,000 plummy. 5,000 Kokal Chai. 6,000 plummy. 7,000 Kokal Chai. 8,000 plummy. 9,000 Kokal Chai. 9,000 is the final call from Kokal Chai. 9,000 back to Kokal Chai. First call 10,000. 12,000 Zaitoon. 12,000 for Zaitoon is the new bidder. Get in Zaitoon. 12,000. 14,000 back to Kokal Chai. 14,000 for Kokal Chai. First call. 16,000 back to Zaitoon. 16,000 for Zaitoon. First call. 16,000 for Zaitoon is a second call. 16,000 for Zaitoon will be the third call. Player sold to Zaitoon for 16,000. Player named Nasil, right arm all-rounder. Sold to Zaitoon. Congratulations, Nasil. The next player on the screen, Jafar. Jafar, player ID 20, right arm medium bowler. Jafar starting base price 1,000 for eat and drink. 1,500 Al Irshad. 2,000 KP Chai. 2,000 KP Chai. 2,000 first call for KP Chai. 2,000 is the second call for KP Chai. 2,500 back to Al Irshad. 2,500 Al Irshad first call. 2,500 for Al Irshad second call. 2,500. 3,000 back to eat and drink Blasters. 3,000 for eat and drink first call. 3,000 for eat and drink is the second call. 3,000 for eat and drink is third call. Price sold to eat and drink for 3,000. Player named Jafar PK, player ID 20. The next player on the screen, Samir Supi, player ID 47, right arm fast bowler. Samir base price 1,000. 1,000 from Al Irshad base price. 1,000 for Al Irshad first call. 1,000 base price for Al Irshad second call. 1,000 base price for Al Irshad will be the 1,500 KP Chai. 1,500, 2,000 back to Al Irshad. 2,000 for Al Irshad first call. 2,000 for Al Irshad is a second call. 2,000 for Al Irshad will be the third call. Player sold to Al Irshad for 2,000. Player name Samir Supi, player ID 47. Welcome to another Upram Premier League Season 4. We have another player on the screen, player ID 71, Suhail Ahmed. Suhail, base price 1,000 for Suhail. Any opening bid for Suhail? Any team rising up for Suhail? Base price 1,000. 1,000 for Suhail. Anyone interested for Suhail for base price 1,000? 1,000 for Suhail, first call. 1,000 for Suhail is the second call. A very base price for Suhail, 1,000. 1,000 for Suhail will be the third call. Is anybody wish to bid for Suhail for 1,000 base price? Is the screen is visible? I'll be having a third call for Suhail. Anyone raising up for Suhail for base price 1,000? I can't see anyone raising up. And this will be the third call. Player remained unsold, and this is the first unsold in another Upram Premier League Season 4 player auction. We're going to count it in at the end of the unsold list. Another player on the screen, player ID 74, player name Amir. Base price 1,000. 1,000 for Amir. Starting bid from Zaitoon. Zaitoon Sizzlers, base price 1,000. 1,500 Plummy. Plummy Fighters 1,500. 1,500 for Plummy. First call. 1,500. 2,000 Sweetwold. 2,000 for Sweetwold. First call. 2,000 for Sweetwold is the second call. 2,000 for Sweetwold will be the third call. Player sold to Sweetwold for 2,000. Player name Amir. Another player on the screen, player ID 50T, player name Naufal. Naufal base price 1,000. Zaitoon is the base price starting from Zaitoon. 1,000 for Zaitoon first call. 1,000 for Zaitoon, first call. 1,500 Plummy Fighters. 1,500, 2,000 back to Zaitoon. 2,500. 2,500 from Sweet World. 3,000 Zaitoon. 3,000 Zaitoon, first call. 3,000 for Zaitoon, second call. 3,000 for Zaitoon will be the third call. Players sold to Zaitoon for 3,000. Congratulations, Naufal. Player ID 50T, right arm all-rounder. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, player ID 86, Nizam. Nizam, base price 1,000. 5,000 is the straight away bid from KP Chai. 10,000 back to Kokal Chai. 10,000 is the latest bid from Kokal Chai. Anybody bidding? 12,000 Asias. 14,000, 16,000, 18, 20,000. 20,000 Asias is the latest bid. 22, 24 Zaitoon. Zaitoon is the new bidder. 24,000 for Zaitoon. 26 back to Asias. 28 Kokal Chai once again. 30,000 new bidder getting eat and drink. 30,000 for eat and drink. 32,000 Al Irshad. Another new bidder getting for 32,000 Al Irshad. 32,000 for Al Irshad, first call. 32,000 for Al Irshad is a second call. 34,000 Sweet World. Another new bidder getting for 34,000. 34,000 for Sweet World. 36 back to Kokal Chai. 36,000 Kokal Chai. What a player auction is having by the Kokal Chai. 36,000. Another high bid player. 36,000 for Kokal Chai, first call. 36,000 for Kokal Chai is a second call. 36,000. I'll be closing with Kokal Chai with the third call. Players sold to Kokal Chai for 36,000. Is another high bid player from Kokal Chai, a player ID 86, a player named Nizam. What an auction is having by Kokal Chai strikers. Congratulations, Nizam. You are the second highest bidder player selling on the Kokal Chai strikers. Congratulations. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 34, Mubin. Mubin base price 1,000. 1,000 from Asias. 5,000 Kokal Chai. 10,000 Kokal Chai. Anybody? 12,000 Asias. 14 Plummy. 16 Asias. 18 Plummy. 18, 20,000 Asias. 20,000 is the latest bid from Asias. 20,000 first call. 20,000 for Asias is the second. 22,000 eat and drink. 22,000 for eat and drink first call. 22,000 for eat and drink is the second call. 22,000 for eat and drink will be the third call. Players sold to eat and drink for 22,000. Congratulations, eat and drink and Mubin TK. You will be wearing the new jersey with eat and drink blasters with Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations. We have a next player on the screen, player ID 83, Nizam. Nizam base price 1,000. 1,000 from Asias. 1,500 from me. 2,000 back to Asias. 2,500. 3,000 Asias. 4,000 from me. 10,000 straight away from Kokal Chai. 12,000 Asias. 14,000 from me. 16,000 Kokal Chai. 18 KP Chai. 18,000. 20,000 back to Kokal Chai. 20,000 is the Kokal Chai is the latest bidder. 20,000 first call for Kokal Chai. 20,000 is the second. 22,000 Zaitoon new bidder get in. Zaitoon 22,000 first call. 24 back to Asias. 24,000 for Asias first call. 24,000 for Asias is the second call. 24,000 for Asias will be the third call. Players sold to Asia's Royals for 24,000. Player named Nizam, left arm fast bowler. Player ID 83. Congratulations, Nizam. You will be joining the Asia's Royals family This time, Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, Uwais, a 50 player ID 50, left arm medium bowler. 1000 base prize for Uwais, Kokal Shai. 1000 base prize Kokal Shai, first call. 1000 base prize for Kokal Shai Z. Second call. 1000 base prize for Kokal Shai. I'll be closing with the Kokal Shai on the third call for base prize 1000. Players sold to Uwais, a left arm medium and left arm batsman. Sold to Kokal Shai strikers for base prize 1000. Congratulations, Uwais. The next player on the screen, Fawaz MK. Player ID 26, starting bidding from Kokal Shai. What an auction is having by Kokal Shai. 1500 Plummy, 2000 Asias, 2500 back to Plummy, 10,000. 10,000 from Kokal Shai, rise straight away, 12,000 Plummy. 12,000 Plummy. Plummy strikers 12,000, 14,000 Zaitoon, 18,000 Plummy strikers. Plummy strikers, back to 20,000 Zaitoon. Zaitoon for 20,000 is the latest bid. 20,000 for Zaitoon, first call. 22,000 back to Plummy strikers. 22,000. 24,000 Zaitoon. 24,000 Zaitoon, first call. 24,000 for Zaitoon, second call. 26,000 Alir Shah, the new bidder get in for 26,000. 26,000 for Alir Shah, first call. 26,000 for Alir Shah is the second call. 26,000 for Alir Shah is third call. Players sold to Alir Shah for 26,000. Player ID 26, Fawaz MK, a bowling all-rounder. Congratulations. Another player on the screen, 62, Jabir Wanimal. Jabir, right arm all-rounder. Jabir base price 1,000. 1,000 for Jabir. 1,000 base price for Jabir. Anybody raising up for Jabir 1,000? Congratulations, KP Chai. Base price 1,000 for Jabir, KP Chai, first call. 1,000 base price for KP Chai is the second call. 1,000 base price for KP Chai is third call. Players sold to KP Chai for base price 1,000. Player ID 62, Jabir. The next player on the screen, player ID 61, Salia. Unlisted player. Another new player on the screen, 41, player ID Suhail. Zaitoon is starting base price 1,000. Zaitoon, Asia's 1,500. 1,500 for Asia's first call. 2,000 back to Zaitoon. 2,000 Zaitoon, first call. 2,000 for Zaitoon is the second call. 2,500 back to Asia's. 3,000 back to Zaitoon. 4,000, eat and drink. The new bidder get in for 4,000, eat and drink. Eat and drink for 4,000, first call. 5,000 from Zaitoon. 5,000 back to Zaitoon. 6,000 back to eat and drink. 6,000 for eat and drink, first call. 6,000 for eat and drink is the second call. 6,000 for eat and drink will be 7,000. 7,000, 8,000 back to eat and drink. 8,000. 8,000 for eat and drink, first call. 8,000 for eat and drink is the second call. 8,000 for eat and drink will be the third call. Players sold to eat and drink blasters for 8,000. Player name Suhail, player ID 41. Congratulations, Suhail. You will be seeing this time eat and drink blasters jersey in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 16, Rashid. Straight away a bid from Kokal Shai for 10,000. Is anybody raising up for 10,000? 12,000 Plummy fighters, 14,000 Kokal Shai, 16,000 Plummy, 18,000 Kokal Shai, 2022. The bidding is getting very interesting. KP Shai broken their flag. 24,000 Asias. 24,000 is the Asias. 26 back to Plummy Fighters. Plummy Fighters 26,000. Another broken flag with the 28,000 KP Shai. 30,000 Plummy Fighters. What an interesting bidding is going on. 32,000 Zaytoon. 32,000, 34,000 Sweet World. 36,000 Plummy Fighters. 38,000 Zaytoon. 40,000 Sweet World. 40,000. 40,000 for Sweet World. First call. 40,000 for Sweet World is a second call. 40,000 is anybody raising up? The fighting is going very hard now. 40,000 for Sweet World is third call. Players sold to Sweet World Stars, and this is the highest bidding. This is highest sold player of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Player name Rashid and player ID 16. Congratulations Rashid and Sweet World Stars. You are the highest sold players so far in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 for 40,000. Congratulations for Rashid and Sweet World.
ആറ് പ്ലേയേഴ്സിനെ എടുത്തു. മാക്സ് ബിഡ് 60 ആണ്. 66 ആണ് ബാലൻസ്. 5 പ്ലേയേഴ്സിനെ
വെയിറ്റ് മാക്സിമം ബിബ് 66. 6,000 റിസർവ്ഡ് ആക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോൾ
അല്ല എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അവർക്ക് നെക്സ്റ്റ് പ്ലെയറിന് മാക്സിമം 60,000 വരെ പോകാം. കാരണം ബാക്കി 13 പ്ലേയേഴ്സ് അല്ലേ, 6 പ്ലേയേഴ്സിനെ.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റ് ബാലൻസ് എത്രയുള്ളത്?
66. അത് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. പ്ലേയേഴ്സ് 66 പേഴ്സ് ബാലൻസ്.
Okay. We'll have a short the purse balance calls. Okay. I would like to all of you given attention on the purse balance. I will tell the each team purse balance. I'll start with Al Irshad Avengers. Your maximum bid can go till 60,000. Your purse balance available is 66,000. Al Irshad. I hope is that clear. Okay. The next team, Eat and Drink Blasters. Your maximum bid can go 40,000 and your purse balance available is 44,000. The next team, KP Cha Heroes. You can go for maximum bid 50,000. Your purse balance available is 57,000. Another team is Sweet World Stars. You can maximum bid for in upcoming bids is 32,500 and your purse balance available is 35,500. Another team, Asia's Royals. You can maximum bid 66,000 per player. Your purse balance available is 73,000. Another team, Kokal Chai Strikers. You can maximum bid per player 37,000. Your purse balance available is 41,000. Another team is Plummy Fighters. You can maximum bid 60,000 per player. Your purse balance available is 66,000. The last not the least, Zaytoon Sizzlers. You can maximum bid 73,000 per player. Your purse balance available is 79,000. Is that clear? All the purse balance. Anybody have a questions? You can raise it up right now. The silence can be concerned and it is confirmed. Nobody have any questions? We'll move into the next. We have right now on the screen Rashid. He's the highest bid player. Sold to Sweet World Stars. Congratulations both of them. We have another player on the screen, player ID 70, Farhan Casey. Straight away, 1,500 Asias, 2,000 Plummy Fighters, 2,500, 3,000 Plummy Fighters, 3,000, 4,000 Asias, 5,000 Plummy, 6,000 Zaytoon. Zaytoon, 7,000 back to Plummy, 8,000 Zaytoon. 8,000 for Zaytoon, first call. 8,000 for Zaytoon is a second call. 8,000, 9,000 Plummy. 9,000 for Plummy, first call. 9,000 for Plummy, second call. 10,000 back to Zaytoon. 10,000 for Zaytoon, first call. 10,000 for Zaytoon is the second call. 10,000 for Zaytoon will be the third call. Players sold to Zaytoon Sizzlers For 10,000, player name Farhan Casey, player ID 70. Congratulations, Farhan Casey. Another new player on the screen, player ID 103, Fasil. Fasil, base price 1,000 for Fasil. Anybody is bidding for Fasil, base price 1,000. We have a very base price 1,000 for Fasil. Anybody bidding? First call, base price 1,000. Base price 1,000, calling once. Base price, Asia's first call. First call for Asia's. Second call for Asia's is a base price 1,000. And now the third call for Asia's for base price 1,000. Players sold to Asia's Royals, 1,000 base price. Player name Fasil, player ID 103, right arm bowler, all-rounder. Another new player on the screen, player ID 19, Abdullah MP. Abdullah base price 1,000, right away from Plummy Fighters. 5,000 from KP Chai. 6,000, 7,000 Alir Shah. 8,000 Kokal Chai. 8,000 for Kokal Chai, first call. 8,000 for Kokal Chai, second call. 8,000 for Kokal Chai. 9,000 back to Asia's. 9,000 for Asia's, first call. 9,000 for Asia's, second call. 9,000 for Asia's will be the closing call. Players sold to Asia's for 9,000. Player ID 19, player name Abdullah MP. Congratulations, Abdullah and Asia's Royals. Another player on the screen, 67, player name Sadiq, base price 1,000 from Plummy Fighters. Plummy Fighters 1,000 base price. Base price 1,000 for Plummy Fighters, first call. Base price 1,000 for Plummy Fighters, second call. 1,500, 800, 2,000 Plummy Fighters. Once again, Plummy Fighters for 2,000. 2,000 for 2,500 Sweet Vault. 3,000 back to Plummy Fighters. 3,000 for Plummy Fighters, first call. 3,000 for Plummy. 4,000 back to Sweet Vault. 5,000 back to Plummy Fighters. 6,800. 6,000 for 800, first call. The latest bid from 800 for 6,000 is later. 7,000 back to Sweet Vault. 7,000 first call. 7,000 for Sweet Vault is the second call. 7,000 for 8,000 back to Eat and Drink. 8,000 for Eat and Drink, first call. 8,000 for Eat and Drink is second call. 8,000 for Eat and Drink will be the third call. Players sold to Eat and Drink for 8,000. Congratulations, Sadiq, player ID 67. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. You will be wearing the jersey of 800 Blasters for the Season 4 of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations for both of them. Another player on the screen, player ID 66, Sineesh. Sineesh base price 1,000. I would request all the team to be quiet because there is a lot of team to be a bid on the other players also. If you keep disturbing them, the entire bid will go in the another route. Please, I would request all of you to be attention on the screen, please. 1,000 base price for 8 and drink, first call. 1,000 base price for 8 and drink is the second call. 1,500 Alir Shad. 1,500 Alir Shad, first call. 1,500 for Alir Shad, second call. And I don't see anyone raising up. 1,500 for Alir Shad will be the third call. Players sold to Alir Shad. Player name Sineesh, player ID 66, sold to Alir Shad for 1,500. A decent price. Another new player on the screen is player ID 84, Sajid. Sajid base price 1,000. Anybody bidding for Sajid? Any flag raising up for base price 1,000? Right away from Plummy Fighters, 1,000. 10,000 is KP Chai. 12,000 Plummy Fighters. 14, 16 Kokal Chai. 18 Plummy Fighters. Another rising star. 18,000 is the Plummy Fighters. 20 back to Kokal Chai. 22 Plummy. Plummy Fighters 20. Another new bidder. 24 Zaitoon. 26 back to Plummy Fighters. 26,000 Plummy Fighters. 28 KP Chai. 30 back to Plummy. 30,000 for Plummy Fighters. The latest bid. 30,000 first call. 32, 34 Kokal Chai. 36,000 Asia is the new bidder. 38 back to Plummy Fighters. 38,000 Plummy Fighters is the latest bid. And this will be another player going to be high bid. And it's interesting. 38,000 Plummy Fighters first call. 30 back to 40,000 Asia's. 40,000 for Asia's first call. Very interesting. Another high bid player, Plummy Fighters, 42,000. 42,000, 44,000 Asia's back. 44,000 Asia's first call. 44,000 for Asia's the second call. 46,000. Al Irshad, this is very interesting. Another high bid player, 48,000 black to Plummy Fighters. 50,000 Al Irshad. What an auction is so far going on. This is very interesting. Sajid, player ID 84. The high bid player for 50,000. 50,000. Anybody raising further? 50,000 for Sajid. First call. 50,000 for Al Irshad. 50,000 first call for Al Irshad. 50,000 for Al Irshad is the second call. And 50,000 for Al Irshad is third call. Player sold to Al Irshad Avengers for 50,000. Player ID 84. Player named Sajid. Right arm all-rounder. Congratulations. Another biggest star in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 rising up in this night and this very right stage right now. Congratulations, Al Irshad. Another player on the screen, 75, Mubashir, right arm all-rounder. Anybody bidding for Mubashir? Anybody base price 1,000 for Mubashir? 1,000 base price for Mubashir, first call. 1,000 base price for Mubashir is the second call. And 1,000 base price for Mubashir is the third call. Player remained unsold. Another second player to be unsold in this season. Player ID 75. Another player on the screen, 92, Ajnas. Ajnas base price 1,000. 1,000 base price KP Chai. 1,000 base price KP Chai, first call. 1,000 base price for KP Chai, second call. 1,000 base price for KP Chai will be the third call. Player sold to base price 1,000. Player name Majnas. Player ID 92.
Base price. Clearly.
Player ID 45, Sumant. Sumant, Plummy Fighters base price 1,000. 1,000 for Plummy. 1,000 base price for Plummy, first call. 1,500 Asia's. 1,500 for Asia's, first call. 2,000 back to Plummy. 2,000 for Plummy, first call. 2,000 for Plummy is the second call. 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 Sweet World. 4,000 for Sweet World, first call. 4,000, 5,000 Plummy. 5,000 for Plummy Fighters, first call. Is anybody fighting with Plummy Fighters for 5,000, first call? 5,000 for Plummy Fighters, second call. And 5,000 for Plummy Fighters with third call. Player sold to Plummy Fighters for 5,000. Player named Sumant, right arm all-rounder. Player ID 45 sold to Plummy Fighters. Congratulations, Sumant. Next player on the screen, player ID 39, Jafar. Jafar base price 1,000. Anybody for Jafar? Anybody rising up for Jafar? Again, Plummy Fighters. Base price 1,004. 1,500 eat and drink. 2,000 back to Plummy Fighters. 2,000 for Plummy Fighters, first call. 2,000 for Plummy Fighters, second call. 2,000, 2,500 Zaitoon. 2,500 Zaitoon, first call. 2,500 for Zaitoon, second call. 2,500 for Zaitoon. 3,000 back to Sweet World. 3,000 Sweet World, first call. 3,000 for Sweet World is the second call. 3,000 for Sweet World is 4,000 back to Zaitoon. 4,000 for Zaitoon, first call. 4,000 for Zaitoon is the second call. 4,000 for Zaitoon is third call. Player sold 2. Zaitoon, Sizzlers 4. 4,000. Player ID 39, player name Jaffer. Congratulations, Jaffer, and welcome to another from Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 63, Suhail. Suhail Jaunty. Kukal Chai, base price 1,000. Kukal Chai, 1,500 Plummy. 1,500 for Plummy, first call. 1,500 for Plummy, second. 2,000 back to Kokal Chai. 2,000 back to Kokal Chai, first call. 2,500 Plummy. 2,500 Plummy, first call. 2,500 for Plummy, second call. 2,500 for Plummy is third call. Players sold 2. Plummy strikers, fighters for 2,500. Player name Suhail Jaunty, player ID 63. The next player on the screen, player ID 49, Ishaq. Ishaq BP. 1,000 base price, KP Chai. KP Chai base price 1,000, first call. KP Chai base price 1,000 is the second call. KP Chai base price 1,000 is third call. I'm sorry, player sold to KP Chai for 1,000 base price, player ID 49. That's the only reason I was keep telling you that keep focus on the screen. There is a plenty of players to become under your list. Do not miss it, because if you raise it later, I'm not going to be considered. So be attention on the screen. Let's discuss everything on the later after the bid completed. Be focused on the screen. We have another player on the screen now. Sadiq, player ID 97. Sadiq, anybody bidding for Sadiq base price 1,000? 1,000 base price for Sadiq. 1,000 base price Sadiq, first call. 1,000 base price for Sadiq is the second call. 1,000 base price for Sadiq is 1,000 Kokal Chai. Kokal Chai base price 1,000, first call. Kokal Chai base price 1,000, second call. Base price 1,000 for Kokal Chai is third call. Player sold to Kokal Chai for base price 1,000. Congratulations, Sadiq. Player ID 97. Welcome to another from Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, player ID 27, Amir. 1,000 Asias, 1,500 Kokal Chai, 2,000 KP Chai. 2,000 is the last bid from KP Chai. 2,000, first call for KP Chai. 2,000, twice for KP Chai. And 2,000, third call for KP Chai. Players sold to KP Chai for 2,000. Player name Amir, player ID 27. The next player on the screen, player ID 82, Sajid. Right arm all-rounder Sajid, base price 1,000. Any flag is rising up for Sajid. Right away Plummy, 1,500 Asias. 2,000 Plummy. 2,000 is the last call from Plummy. 2,500 Zaitoon, 3,000 Plummy. Plummy Fighters, 3,000 is the latest bid, first call. 4,000 back to Zaitoon, 5,000 Plummy Fighters. 5,000 Plummy Fighters, first call. 6,000 Zaitoon, 7,000 Plummy. 8,000 back to Zaitoon, 9,000 back to Plummy. 9,000 is the last call from Plummy Fighters, 9,000 first call. 10,000 Kokal Chai, 12,000 Zaitoon. 12,000 Zaitoon, first call. 12,000 for Zaitoon is the second call. 12,000 for Zaitoon is third call. Players sold to 12,000. Sajid Palun, right arm all-rounder. Players sold to Zaitoon Sizzlers for 12,000. Player ID 82. Congratulations, Sajid. The next player on the screen, player ID 15, Harris. Any opening bid from Harris, right away from Plummy Fighters. 1,500 Kokal Chai. 2,000 Al Irshad. 2,500 Plummy. 3,000 Kokal Chai. 4,000 Plummy. 5,000 Kokal Chai. 6,000 Plummy. 6,000 Plummy. 7,000 back to Gokul Chai. 8,000 Plummy. 8,000 Plummy. 8,000 for Plummy, first call. The interesting bid war. Back to 9,000 Gokul Chai. I'm gonna raise down my voice. 9,000 from Gokul Chai. The discussion going on with the Plummy fighters. 9,000 is the latest bid from Gokul Chai. First call. 9,000 for Gokul Chai twice. 9,000 for Gokul Chai is third call. Player sold to Gokul Chai. Strikers for 9,000. Player ID 15. Player name Haris. Congratulations, Haris, for your new jersey of new season. Player ID 99, Riaz Chatat. Riaz, anybody bidding for Riaz base price 1,000? Any flag is raising up 4,000 for Riaz? Zaitun? Nobody. 1,000 base price, anybody? 1,000 for first call. 1,000 base price for second call. 1,000 base price. 1,000 base price. I'm not seeing any flag is raising up. I'll be forced to call the third call. Player remained unsold. Another player to be unsold list, which will be recalled at the end of this auctions. Saifuddin, player ID 13, straight away Plummy fighters. Saifuddin, 1,500 Asias, back to 2,000 Plummy. Plummy fighter, 2,500, 3,000 Plummy. 3,000 Plummy fighters, first call. 3,000 for Plummy fighters is a twice. 4,000 Alir Shah, 5,000 Plummy fighters. 5,000 back to Plummy fighters, first call. 6,000, 7,000 back to Plummy fighters. 7,000 Plummy fighters, 8,000, 9,000 Plummy fighters. 9,000 is the latest bid. Back to Asia's for 10,000. 10,000 Asia's Royals, first call. 10,000 for Asia's Royals, second call. 12,000 back to Plummy fighters. 12,000. Any fight back? Any fight back I can see. 12,000 is the latest bid. The discussion is going on Asia's Royals. 12,000 is the latest bid from Plummy fighters. 12,000 first call. 12,000 goes twice for Plummy fighters. And 12,000 goes thrice for Plummy fighters. Players sold to Plummy fighters. Player name Saifuddin. Player ID 3. Congratulations both of them and welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 69, Nazil. Anybody for Nazil? Anybody Nazil? Base price 1,000 for Nazil, first call. Asia's Royals, the base price 1,000, first call. First call for Asia's. Second call for base price 1,000. 1,500 Alir Shah. 1,500 for Alir Shah, first call. 1,500 for Alir Shah, the second call. 1,500 for Alir Shah is third call. Players sold to Alir Shah for 1,500. Player ID 69, player name Nazil. Congratulations to both of them. The next player on the screen, 25, Riyaz Hassan. Straight away, Plummy fighters. 1,000 base price for Plummy fight. 1,500 Asias. 2,000 back to Plummy. 2,000. 2,500 KP Chai. 3,000 back to Plummy. 3,000 is the latest bid from Plummy fighters. First call. 4,000. 5,000. 5,000 Plummy fighters. 5,000 for Plummy fighters. First call. 5,000 for Plummy fighters. The second call. 5,000. 6,000 back to KP Chai. 6,000. 6,000 for KP Chai, first call. 6,000 for KP Chai, second call. I can see all the teams are calm down and I'm going to be a caller. Third call for KP Chai for 6,000. Players sold to KP Chai Heroes, a player named Riyaz Hassan, player ID 25. Congratulations Riyaz for your new jersey of this season. Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, 85. Shafiq PK. Anybody bidding? Anybody raising up for Shafiq? Any flag? Any flag for base price 1,000? I can't see anybody raising up. 1,000 base price for Shafiq. First call. 1,000 base price. Second call. 1,000 base price is third call. Another player remained unsold. Shafiq player ID 85. Another player on the screen. Siraj. Starting with Plummy. Base price 1,000. Player ID 37. 1,500 Asia, sir. Back to 2,000 Plummy fighters. 10,000 is the KP Shy. Straight away bid 10,000. Anybody? 12,000. Back to Plummy. 12,000 for Plummy fighters. First call. 14,000 Kokal Shy. 16,000 Plummy fighters. 16,000 Plummy fighters. First call. 16,000 for Plummy fighters is the twice. 18,000, 20, 22,000 KP Shy. 22,000 KP Shy. First call. Is anybody fighting up with the KP Shy for 22,000? First call. 22,000 for KP Shy. Back to Plummy fighters, sir. 24,000. 26,000 back to Sweet World. Another bidder get in. 26,000 first call. 26,000 for Sweet World. 26,000 first call for Sweet World. 26,000, 28, 30,000 Plummy. 30,000 Plummy fighters first call. 30,000 for Plummy fighters is the second call. And I can't see any of the raising. And 30,000 for Plummy fighters is the final call. Players sold to Plummy fighters for 30,000. Siraj Palol, player ID 37. Congratulations for your new venture with the Plummy fighters with the new season of Nadapuram Premier League season. For another player on the screen, 58 Salih. Salih base price 1,000. Anybody raising up flag? Any flag is raising up for Salih for base price 1,000? I can't see any of the raising. First call. Base price 1,000 for Salih. Second call. Base price 1,000 for Salih. His third call. Players sold to unsold. Player remain unsold. Another player on the unsold list. Sharshad, 79 player ID. Sharshad base price 1,000. Eat and drink, keep each choice. Are you with me? Base price 1,000. 1,000 base price first call. 1,000 base price second call. 1,000 base price. 1,000 base price Al Irshad. Congratulations Al Irshad, base price 1,000 first call. I'm going twice for Al Irshad. Since I'm not going any rating, that is the third call for Al Irshad. Player sold to Al Irshad for base price 1,000. Player name Sharshad, player ID 79. Congratulations Sharshad and team Al Irshad Avengers. Now I need your attention on the purse balance, and once again I'm going to be read purse balance for each team. Is this visible for you? Kokal Shy, KP Shy, is the screen visible? You can see the screen. I'll start with Al Irshad Avengers. You can maximum bid 10,000 per player. Al Irshad. Al Irshad, you can maximum bid 10,000. Your purse balance available is 12,000. The second team, Eat and Drink, maximum bid for Eat and Drink is 33,000. Your purse balance available is 36,000. Third team, KP Shah Heroes, the maximum bid 44,000. Your purse balance available is 47,000. The fourth team, Sweet World Stars, your maximum bid for per player is 32,500. Your purse balance available is 35,500. The fifth team, Asia's Royals, the maximum bid for you is 58,000 and your purse balance available is 63,000. The sixth team, Kokal Shah Strikers. Kokal Shah Strikers, your maximum bid for per player 29,000. Your purse balance available is 31,000. Another team, Plummy Fighters, maximum you can bid 14,500 for per player. Your purse balance available is 16,500. The last team, not the least, Zaitun Sizzlers. You can maximum bid per player 50,000. Your purse balance available is 53,000. Any questions? Any doubt? Any questions for opposite team? I can't see any question raising up. Considering your confirmation to move further. The next step.
Hey, Anwar, break it now. Chocho, etra player undu? Is anybody wish to have a break for a 5 or 10 minutes? We shall continue or you need a break. Are you sure? KP Shah, you need a break for 5-10 minutes? No. Kokal Shah? No. No break? You need a break for 5-10 minutes? Everybody raising up to move further. We're going to go into the auction straight away. Another player on the screen, Muhammad Suhail, player ID 77. Base price 1,000. Anybody for 1,000 base price? Any flag raising up? Anybody raising up for 1,000 base price? 1,000 base price for Muhammad Suhail. 1,000 base price 1,000. Any flag is raising up? I can't see anybody is raising up. 1,000 base price once. 1,000 base price twice for Suhail. 1,000 base price thrice for Suhail. Player remained unsold. Another player added to the unsold list, which we're gonna recall it at the end of this auction. Remained unsold. The next player on the screen, player ID 73, Muhammad Rashid. Muhammad Rashid, any base price for Muhammad Rashid? Base price 1,000. 1,000, anybody raising? 1,000, Plummy Fighters. Congratulations, Plummy Fighters, for base price 1,000. I'm going once for Plummy Fighters for base price 1,000. I'll be going twice, 1,500 Alil Shah. 2,000 back to Plummy Fighters. 2,000 once for Plummy Fighters. 2,000 twice for Plummy Fighters. 2,500 back to Alil Shah. 2,500 for Alil Shah. 2,500 Alil Shah, first call. 2,500 for Alil Shah, second call. 2,500 for Alil Shah is third call. Player sold to Alil Shah for 2,500. Player name Muhammad Rasin, player ID 73. Congratulations, both of them. Muhammad Rasin. Alil Shah, Alil Shah. Speed up. Next player. Moving to the next player on the screen. What a great auction we witnessed for this evening. It's so far so good and it's going very well. Another player on the screen, the new player on the screen, player ID 28, Fazil Casey. Anybody bidding for Fazil? Fazil basement, 1,000, 1,500, 800. 2,000 back to Plumby. 2,000 is the latest bid from Plumby Fighters. 2,000 first. First call for Plumby Fighters for 2,000. Anybody raising up for 2,000 Plumby Fighters? Second call. 2,000 for Plumby Fighters is the third call. Players sold to Plumby Fighters for 2,000. Player name Fazil Casey, player ID 28. This time you're going to play for Plumby Fighters of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 this season. The next player on the screen, player ID 96, Abdul Muneem. Abdul Muneem, anybody base price 1,000? Anybody is rising up for Abdul Muneem? Base price 1,000. Base price 1,000 for Abdul Muneem once. Base price 1,000 twice.
Base price 1000 for Abdul Munim is thrice. Player remained unsold. Another player added on the unsold list. The next player on the screen is the player ID 68. Shabib Nadafram. Sorry. Nadathuram. Shabib, base price 1000. 1000 for Shabib. 1000 base price for Shabib. Anybody? Any team raising flag for Shabib for base price 1000? Anyone for Shabib? First call. Plummy Fighters. Congratulations. Base price 1000. 1000 once for Plummy Fighters. 1000 twice for Plummy Fighters. I'm going thrice for Plummy Fighters for base price 1000. Shabib, players sold to Plummy Fighters. Congratulations, Shabib, player ID 68. The next player on the screen, player ID 30, Aziz, starting Eden Ring, base price 1000. 1000 for Aziz, first call. 1500 Zaytoon. 2000 Asias. 2000 Asias, first call. 2000, 2500 Zaytoon. 3000 Asias. 4000, 5000 Zaytoon. Zaytoon is the latest bid for 5000. 5000 for Zaytoon. 5000 for Zaytoon, first call. 5000 for Zaytoon is the second call. 5000 for Zaytoon is third call. Player sold to Zaytoon. Player name Aziz, player ID 30. Congratulations, Aziz, and welcome to Nadafram Premier League Season 4. This time you're going to join Zaytoon Sizzlers Warriors. A great evening, a great auction is going so far. You're watching live on Voice of Mujib and Crick Vibe UAE. Do subscribe and hit the like button on YouTube. This is Nada from Premier League Season 4 player auction. You're watching live on Voice of Mujib and Crick Vibe UAE. The next player on the screen is player ID 94, Jabi. Jabi base price 1000. 1000 base price for Jabi. Anybody flag? Plummy Fighters base price 1000. 1500 KP Chai. 2000, 2500 Asias. 3000, 4000, 5000. 10,000 straight away sweet. Royals 10,000, 12,000. 12,000, 14,000 Zaytoon, 14,000 Zaytoon, 16,000 Asias, 18 Zaytoon, 18, 20 Sweet World, 22 Asias, 22,000, 24,000 back to Sweet World, 22,000, 24,000 Sweet World, first call, 26,000 Zaytoon. 26,000 Zaytoon, first call. 26,000 is second call for Zaytoon. 28 back to Sweet World. 28,000 Sweet World stars, first call. 28,000. 28,000 second call for Sweet World. 30,000 Zaytoon. Another bid going is very interesting. 32 back to Sweet World. 32,000 with the Sweet World first call. 32,000 Sweet World first call. 34,000 Zaytoon. 34,000 for Zaytoon. 36,000 Asias get in. 36,000 Asias first call. 36,000 for Asias is the second call. And 36,000 for Asias will be the third call. Players sold to Asia's Royals for 36,000. Another decent bidding for Jabi, player ID 94,000. Congratulations for Jabi and Asia's Royals. Welcome to Nada from Premier League Season 4.
Another player on the screen, Jassim, player ID 17. Jassim, base price 1,000. 1,000 base price. 1,000 base price for Jassim, first call. 1,000 base price. Zaitoon, first call for Zaitoon, 1,000 base price. 1,500 Kokal Chai. 1,500 Kokal Chai, first call. 2,000 back to Zaitoon. 20,000 Sweet World. Straight away bid for 20,000. Sweet World. It's a straight away call. അടിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല അടിക്കല്ലേ 20,000 Sweet World. First call. I don't see any team is raising up. I don't see anyone showing the interest on this. 20,000 for Sweet World. First call. 20,000. I'm going twice for Sweet World. 20,000. I'm going with the third call. Price sold to Sweet World for 20,000. Straight away bid from Sweet World. Congratulations, Jassim. Right arm all down the sold to Sweet World Stars. Both of them. Welcome to another from Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, player ID 80, Ramesh. Anybody bidding for Ramesh? Base price 1,000. 1,000 for Ramesh. First call. 1,000 base price for Ramesh. Second call. 1,000 base price for Ramesh is third call. Player remained unsold. Move to the unsold folder. The next player on the screen, player ID 59, Rahim. Base price 1,000 for Rahim. Anybody? Anybody base price 1,000 for Rahim? Any flag is raising up? I can't see any flag is raising up. We are almost at the close of the first auctions. 1,000 first call. 1,000 base price the second call. 1,000 base price is the third call. Another player added on the unsold list. Player name 59, player ID 59. Another player on the screen, player ID 36, Narjas. Narjas base price 1,000. Any team raising up? 1,000 base price, eat and drink first call. 1,000 base price, eat and drink second call. 1,000 base price for eat and drink is the third call. Players sold eat and drink for very base price 1,000. Congratulations, Narjas. Player ID 36. Another player on the screen, player ID 46, Farhan. Base price 1,000 for Farhan. Anybody? Anybody raising up for base price 1,000? 1,000, 1,500 Asias. 2,000 eat and drink. 2,500 Asias. 2,000, 3,000 Zaitoon. 4,000 Asias. 4,000 Asias first call. 5,000 Kokal Chai. 5,000, 6,000 back to Asias. 6,000 back to Asias. 7,000 back to Kokal Chai. 7,000 I'll go once. 8,000 back to Asias. 10,000 Royal Sweet. 10,000 Sweet Royal. 10,000 first call for Sweet World. 12,000 Asias. 12,000 Asias once. 12,000 for Asia's Royals twice. 12,000 for Asia's Royals. 14,000 Kokal Chai. 14,000. No. Kokal Chai is a 14,000. Kokal Chai ke point illa 14,000. Kokal Chai ke 14,000 unda. The last call from Kokal Chai for 14,000. If you deny the bid, it will go back to Asia's Royals 12,000. You want to take it for 14,000? 14,000 Kokal Chai is the latest bid. Is anybody raising up for 14,000 once? 14,000 for Kokal Chai twice. 16,000 KP Chai. 16,000 new bidder get in for KP Chai first call. 16,000 KP Chai twice. 16,000 for KP Chai third call. Players sold to KP Chai for 16,000.
16,000 K fee shy. Player name Anas. Be focused on the screen. You have another player on the screen. Player ID 100 Anas. Base price eat and drink 1,000. 1,000 base price for eat and drink. First call. 1,000 base price for eat and drink. 1,500 Zaitoon. Zaitoon 1,500 once. 1,500 for Zaitoon twice. 2,000 Alisha. 2,500 Asias. 2,500 is the latest bid from Asia's Royals. First call. 2,500 Asia's twice. 2,500 for Asia's is third call. Player sold to Asia's Royals for 2,500. Player name Anas, player ID 100. Congratulations Anas and welcome to Nada from Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, player ID 38 Salam. Salam base price 1,000. Zaitoon 1,000 base price first call. 1,500 Asias. 2,000 Zaitoon. 2,500 Asias. 3,000 Zaitoon first call. 4,000 Al Irshad. 5,000 Asias. 5,000 is the latest bid from Asia's first call. 6,000 Al Irshad. 6,000 Al Irshad once. 7,000 Asias. Back to Asia's the 7,000. 8,000, 9,000 Al Irshad. 9,000 Al Irshad. 8,000. Do you want to go with 9,000? Eat and drink. 8,000 eat and drink. 8,000 eat and drink once. 9,000. 10,000. Asia's Royals 10,000. Is the call? 10,000. 10,000 is the call. Asia's 10,000. Can you please raise up your flag? I'm confusing. 10,000 Asia's first call. 10,000 for Asia's the second call. 12,000 Sweet World. 12,000 Sweet World once. 12,000 for 14,000 Asia's. 14,000 for Asia's the first call. 14,000 for Asia's the second call. 14,000 for Asia's third call. Player sold to Asia's Royals for 14,000. Player name Salam, player ID 38. Congratulations both of them. The next player on the screen 102 Ashik strike. Base price 1,000 for Ashik straight away from fitness center. Base price 1,000. Anybody raising up for Ashik? 1,000 base price. 1,000 I'm going once. 1,000 I'm going twice. 1,000 base price I'm going thrice. A player remained unsold. Another player added to the unsold list. Player ID 102 Ashik. Another player on the screen, player ID 95 Rashid. Base price 1,000 for Rashid. Anybody? Anybody bidding for Rashid? Base price 1,000. 1,000 I'm going once. 1,000 I'm going twice. 1,000 base price. I'll calling for thrice. Another player added on the unsold list. Rashid player ID 95 remain unsold. We're going to call it at the end of the auctions. The next player on the screen, player ID 81 Nizam, right arm all-rounder. Right arm all-rounder is a right chance for entire team. Anybody bidding for 1,000? Right arm all-rounder, Nizam. 1,000 base price, anybody raising up once? Al Irshad on board with the 1,000 base price once. 1,000 base price for Al Irshad twice. 1,000 base price for Al Irshad. Third call. Price sold for Al Irshad for base price 1,000. The player sold to Al Irshad Avengers for 1,000 base price.
The technical error is showing an unsolved. Do not consider for that. The next player on the screen, 48. Muhammad CK, base price 1,000. 1,000 for Muhammad straight away from Al Irshad. The base price 1,000. I'll go with Irshad once for 1,000 base price. I'm going twice with Al Irshad for base price 1,000. And I'll be going a third call for Al Irshad, base price 1,000. Muhammad CK, player ID 48, sold to Al Irshad. Congratulations to both of them for Al Irshad and Muhammad CK. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. We have 9 more players to go on the first auction. The next player on the screen, 60, Ashif. Ashif, base price 1,000 for Ashif. All-rounder wicket keeper, base price 1,000. Anybody flagging up for Ashif? Base price 1,000 for Ashif. First call. Base price 1,000 for Ashif. Second call. Base price 1,000 for Ashif is third call. Another player remained unsold. Moving to the unsold folder. No. The next player on the screen, player ID 88, Naheem. Base price 1,000 for Naheem. Anybody looking at the screen for Naheem? Anybody looking at the screen for Naheem? Base price 1,000. 1,000 from Eat and Drink. 1,000 base price Eat and Drink first. 1,000 base price for Eat and Drink twice. 1,500 Asia's Royals get in as a new bidder. 1,500 once for Asia's Royals. 1,500 for Asia's Royals is second call. 1,500 for Asia's Royals is third call. Player sold to Asia's Royals for 1,500. Player name Naheem, player ID 88. Congratulations, Naheem. You will be wearing the new jersey of Asia's Royals in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations, both of them. The next player on the screen, player ID 89, Afnu. Any team raising the flag for Afnu, base price 1,000. Anybody? Anybody in the hall? 10,000 straight away bid from Kokal Shai. 10,000 for Kokal Shai. 12,000 Plummy. 12,000. 14,000 Eat and Drink. 16,000 back to Kokal Shai. 16,000 Kokal Shai once. 18,000 back to Eat and Drink. 18,000 for Eat and Drink. 20,000 Kokal Shai. 20,000 for Kokal. 22,000 Eat and Drink. 22,000 for Eat and Drink once. Are we going to witness another high bid? 22,000 for Eat and Drink once. 24, 26 Zaitun new bidder get in. 26,000 Zaitun Sizzlers. 28, 30,000 KP Shai. 32,000 back to Zaitun. I'm sorry. Your call will be 30,000 Zaitun. 30,000 for Zaitun. 32 back to Eat and Drink. 32,000, 34,000 back to Zaitun. This is getting very interesting now. 34,000 Zaitun Sizzlers. 34,000 I'm going once for Zaitun. 34,000 I'm going twice for Zaitun. 34,000 I'll be calling is it third call for Zaitun for 34,000. Player name Afnoon, player ID 89. Sold to Zaitun Sizzler for 34,000. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League in a signature style. 34,000. The next player on the screen, 104. Player ID Ashkar. Ashkar base price 1,000. Plummy Fighters starting base price 1,000. Plummy Fighters base price I'm going once. 1,500 Street World. 2,000 back to Eat and Drink. 2,000 Eat and 2,500 Kokal Chai. 2,500 Kokal Chai is the latest bid. I'm going once for Kokal Chai. 2,500 I will go twice. 3,000 Street World. 4,000 back to Kokal Chai. 5,000 new bidder get in Zaitun Sizzlers. 6,000 back to Kokal Chai. 6,000 Kokal Chai. Once. 7,000 back to Sweet Walda. 8,000 back to Kokal Chai. Kokal Chai, 8,000, 9,000 Zaitun. 10,000 back to Kokal Chai. 12,000 Sweet Wald. 12,000, 14,000 Zaitun. 12,000 Sweet Wald unda. The remain 10,000 with Zaitun. 12,000 is the Sweet Wald, the last call. 12,000. 14,000 back to Kokal Chai. 14,000 back to Kokal Chai once. 14,000 for Kokal Chai twice. 14,000 for Kokal Chai thrice. The player sold to Kokal Chai for 14,000. Is a right all-rounder. What a pick from Kokal Chai strikers. Player ID 104 Ashkars. Congratulations Ashkar and welcome to Nada from Premier League and team Kokal Chai strikers. Congratulations. Another player on the screen 22 Nisar Kumatil. Nisar, base price 1,000 for Plummy Fighters. 1,500 eat and drink. 2,000 Plummy Fighters. 2,000, 2,500 eat and drink. 3,000 back to Plummy Fighters. 4,000, 5,000 Plummy. 6,000 eat and drink. 7,000 Plummy. 8,000 eat and drink. 9,000 Plummy. 10,000 back to eat and drinks. 12,000 KP Choi. Get into the new bidder. 12,000 once. 14,000 back to eat and drink. 16,000 back to KP Choi. 18,000 eat and drink. 20,000 KP Choi. 22. 24, last bid, 26 eat and drink. 26 is the last, 28 KP Chai. 30,000 eat and drink. This is getting very interesting now. It's between eat and drink and KP Chai. The latest bid from eat and drink is the 30,000. 30,000 I'll go with once. 30,000 I'm going with eat and drink twice. 30,000 for eat and drink. Third, player sold to eat and drink for 30,000. Nisar Kumatil. Right arm all-rounder player ID 22 sold to eat and drink blasters. Congratulations Nisar for your new jersey of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 with the eat and drink blasters. Another player on the screen, player ID 65 Javed. Javed base price 1,000. Anybody raising the flag? Asia's Royals base price 1,000. First call. Base price 1,000 for Asia's Royals. Second call. Base price 1,000 for Asia's Royals is third call. Players sold to Asia's Royals for very base price 1,000. Player named Javed. Player ID 65. Congratulations Javed. Welcome to Asia's Royals in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Thank you. The next player on the screen, Shabir, player ID 23. Shabir Pachun, base price 1,000 straight away from eat and drink. 1,500 Kokal Chai. 1,500 Kokal Chai. 2,000 Plummy Fighters. 2,500 Kokal Chai. 3,000, 4,000 Sweet World. 5,000 Kokal Chai. 5,000 Kokal Chai once. 5,000 for Kokal Chai twice. 5,000 for Kokal Chai. Third, player sold to Kokal Chai. Shabir Pachon, player ID 23, another all-rounder pick from Kokal Chai strikers. Congratulations Shabir. Welcome to Kokal Chai strikers and Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations for both of them. The next player on the screen, player ID 61, Abdur Rahim. Abdur Rahim, base price 1,000. 1,000, 1,500 Zaitun, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 Asia, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000.
10,000, 12,000. 25,000 straight away bid from KP Chai. 25,000 for KP Chai. Sorry, 24,000. 24,000 KP Chai. 24,000 once for KP Chai. 24,000 twice for KP Chai. 24,000. Third call for KP Chai. Players sold to KP Chai. Player ID Abdul Rahim. Player ID 61. Sold to KP Chai for 24,000. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 and KP Chai Heroes.
ആ 13 players അല്ലേ ഇത്? 13.
One last time, I'll be calling all the teams of first balance and the required players. I'm going with the first team, Al Irshad Avengers.
അവർ കോട്ട കഴിഞ്ഞില്ലേ?
Al Irshad, congratulations, you will be the first team to complete your quota in the Nadapuram Premier League Season 4 player auction. You have completed your 13 player squad. The next team, Eat and Drink Blasters. Required another 2 players in your squad. You have a purse balance available is 5,000. You can go maximum bid 4,000. The another team, KP Cha, you still require 2 more players in your squad. Your purse balance is 7,000. Another team, Sweet Wall Stars, you still require 3 players in your squad. Your purse balance available is 15,500. Another team, Asia's Royals, you required 1 more player. You still have 8,000 purse balance available. Another team, Kokal Shah Strikers, you also require another 1 player. Your purse balance available is 12,000. Another team, Plummy Fighters, you also require another just 1 player required to complete your squad. Your purse balance available is 35,500. The last not the least is Zaitoon Sizzlers. You required 2 more players. Your purse balance available is 14,000. That's it, one last time for the purse balance. We are almost close to the auction list.
ഇനി അൺസോൾഡ് ലിസ്റ്റ് അല്ലേ?
Now we are moving on to the next of unsold list. We have a very first player from the unsold list, a player ID 77, Muhammad Suhail. There has to go the bid for each player from the unsold list. Base price 1,000 for Muhammad Suhail. 1,000 base price Muhammad Suhail. Anybody bidding? Anybody? Kokal Chai. 1,000 base price. 1,000 base price KP Chai once. 1,500 Asia's Royals. 1,500 Asia's Royals once. 1,500 for Asia's Royals twice. 1,500 for Asia's Royals. Third call. Players sold to Asia's Royals. Congratulations, Muhammad Suhail. You are sold to Asia's Royals for the Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. The next player on the screen, Ramesh. Anybody? Ramesh for base price 1,000. Ramesh, base price 1,000. 1,000 for Ramesh. Anyhow, you have to bid for the unsold players. 1,000 base price for Ramesh. KP Chai. First call 1,000. Second call for KP Chai. And third call for KP Chai. Players sold to base price 1,000 for KP Chai. Ramesh sold to KP Chai Heroes, and you will be the part of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations. Another player on the screen, Salih. Base price 1,000 for Salih. Suhail Ahmed, sorry. Suhail Ahmed, base price 1,000. Anybody bidding for Suhail, base price 1,000? 1,000 base price. 1,000 first call. 1,000 base price second call. 1,000 base price third call. Prior remained unreserved.
Another unsold. Another player on the screen, player ID 95, Rashid. Any base price for Rashid? The squad who has not completed, they must focus on the screen because you have to pick from unsold list. There is no any other list. We have a very few list of unsold players. You have to pick one player from the unsold list. Rashid base price 1,000. Is anybody raising up for Rashid? I'm calling once for Rashid, twice for Rashid, and this is the third call for Rashid. Remain reserved. Another player is Shafiq. Anybody bidding for Shafiq? 1,000 base price Shafiq once, 1,000 base price for Shafiq twice, 1,000 for Kokal Shai once, 1,000 twice, and 1,000 third call. Players sold to Kokal Shai for 1,000 base price Shafiq PK. Congratulations Shafiq, welcome to Kokal Shai Strikers in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Huh? Fine. Eat and Drink Blasters, you required 2 more players in your squad. KP Chai, you required 1 more player. KP Chai, you required 1 more player to your squad. Sweet World Stars, you needed 3 players. And Zaitoon Sizzlers, you needed 2 more players. Plummy Fighters, you needed 1 more players. Zaitoon, Plummy Fighters, KP Chai, Eat and Drink, Sweet World Stars, and Al Irshad Avengers. You have to focus on the screen because you need to fill your squad with these players only. The next player on the screen, player ID 60, Ashif K, base price 1,000. 12,000 from Plummy Fighters as the final call. 14,000 from 12,000 once, 12,000 Plummy Fighters twice, 12,000 third call. Players sold to Plummy Fighters, Asif K. Congratulations, Asif. You're sold to Plummy Fighters in another from Premier League Season 4. Another player, Abdul Munib. Anybody? 1,000, 1,500 Zaitoon. 1,500, 2,000 Sweet World. 2,000, 2,500 Eat and Drink. 3,000 Zaitoon. 3,000 for Zaitoon once. 4,008. 5,000 Zaitoon. 5,000 Zaitoon once. 5,000 for Zaitoon twice. 5,000 for Zaitoon is third call. Player sold to Zaitoon for 5,000. Player ID 96. A player name Abdul Munib. Player ID 75 Mubashir. Player name Mubashir. Base price 1,000 for Mubashir. Anybody raising up for Mubashir? Mubashir base price 1,000 once. Sweet World Stars 1,000. 1,500 Eat and Drink. 1,500 Eat and Drink once. 2,000 Sweet World. 2,500 Eat and Drink. 2,500 Eat and Drink once. 2,500 Eat and Drink twice. 2,500 Eat and Drink price. Players sold to Eat and Drink for 2,500. Player name Mubashir, player ID 75,000. Congratulations both of them and welcome to Nada from Premier League Season 4. Another player on the screen, Salhi KP. Any flag raising up for Salhi? 1,000 base price. KP Chai once. 1,000 for KP Chai twice. 1,000 for KP Chai price. Players sold to KP Chai for base price 1,000. Congratulations, Salih. You deserve to be a part of KP Chai. Welcome to Nadapura Premier League Season 4. We have a 3 more team to be filled their squad. Rahim. Anybody? Sweet World once for Rahim. 1,000 base price. Sweet World twice. And Sweet World is third call. Players sold to Sweet World for 1,000 base price. The next player on the screen, Riyaz Chatud. Riyaz, player ID 99, Zaitoon. 9,000 Zaitoon once. 9,000 for Zaitoon twice. 9,000 for Zaitoon is Third call. Players sold to Zaitoon for 9,000. Congratulations, Riyaz Chatan. You are sold to Zaitoon Sizzlers as the final squad member. And welcome to Nadapuram Premier League. Season 4. 10,000 for Ashik, straight away bid from Sweet World. 10,000 Sweet World Stars, first call. 10,000 for Sweet World Stars, second call. 10,000 for Sweet World Star is the third call. Players sold to Sweet World for 10,000, and that's the squad fill of Sweet World Stars, and they completed the squad with the Ashik. Congratulations, Ashik, and welcome to Sweet World Stars in the Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations for both of them. Two players in one. Unsold ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. രണ്ട് പേര് അൺസോൾഡ് വീണ്ടും പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. സ്ക്രീനിലിട്. You're watching live on Voice of Mujib and at Crick UAE, Crick Vibe. Do subscribe the channel and hit the like button. Your support is crucial for us to be continue the cricket festival to your home television. The next player on the screen, another unsold player, Rashid. Rashid for eat and drink once. Rashid for eat and drink twice. Rashid for eat and drink 2,500 is the final call. Players sold to 2,500 for eat and drink Blasters. Congratulations, Rashid. You sold to eat and drink Blasters for 2,500. Anvarka, 2,500 sold to eat and drink. We have one more player, one last player on this auction. Without any disappointment, with a lot of excitement, we are still continuing with the auctions with the left of one player. We have a Suhail on the screen. The right in front of Royal Stars. We have a once Sweet World for 4,500. Twice. And the third call for Sweet World Stars. Suhail Ahmed, all-rounder, sold to Sweet World Stars for 4,000. Congratulations, Suhail Ahmed and Sweet World Stars. Welcome to Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. What a night we witnessed for. A lot of excitement, a lot of thrillers here. High bid, low bid, unsold, sold. Everything is been high voltage. And this is Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. We are winding up here with the high voltage. We will see you on the cricket ground. This is the cricket festival and the carnival of Nadapuram Premier League Season 5. Signing off by Riju from Nadapuram Premier League player auction stage. Good night and have a good luck for our entire teams and owners. There is a pool set up on this next session. I would like to request all the team members to be a part of it, please, because this is very important. Team captains, there will be a pool division to be happen right now. This is very crucial that you need to be part of it. I would like to request your 10 minutes more to be part of this pool division, please. We're going to be a pool divided for each team. This need to be attention by all the team captains. I would like to request all the team captains back to the seat, please.
ഫസ്റ്റ് എടുക്കുന്നത് എയില്, രണ്ടാമത് ബിയില്. ഒരു പൂളില് 3 മാച്ച്.
ഫസ്റ്റ് എടുക്കുന്ന എ,
രണ്ടാമത് ബി. രണ്ട് പൂളുകളുണ്ട്.
We have a very simple pool division in Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. It's not going to be a complicated. It is very simple and easy that you can understand. We have only two pools that is called A and B, because the 4 teams in the each group that will be played 3 each league matches. All the team captains, may I kindly request you to have a seat, please. 5 minutes more. We know that you've been waited a lot. You've been patient, been appreciated for this, your patience. We truly appreciate it. We need 5 minutes more from your end. We kindly request you to be seated. All the team captains, please remain the seat for 5 minutes more. Kokal Shai, KP Shai, please. Any team members, please be seated for 5 more minutes. Kokal Shai, 5 minutes for. Is the pool division is clear for everyone? We have 2 pools, A and B. Each pool will have 4 teams. Run pool undavu A and B. Oro pool 4 team varum. Each team will have 3 league matches. Please be sure. We're going to spin it for the first team. It is A pool. First team to be go. Let's spin it. The first team to be part of the A pool, that is Zaitoon Sizzlers. Congratulations, Zaitoon. You will be the part of A pool. Second B ano. Now the second one, B pool. Let's spin it for the B pool, the first team, who is going to be the first head of the team in the B pool. And that is sticking on. Eat and Drink Blasters, you will be the first team to be part of the B group. Now the third spin will go for the second team of A group.
League qualify ആവുന്ന 2 ടീം ഇത് കേറുമ്പോൾ എയിൽ 1ാം സ്ഥാനക്കാരും ബിയിൽ 2ാം സ്ഥാനക്കാരും മാച്ച്.
Okay. Each 2 team will be qualified from the each group. The match will come from A group. Number 1 team will play to the B group number 2 team, who will be in the top 2 list. And worse-wise, number 2 from A list, it will play against the number 1 team in the B group. The 4th team will qualify for the semi-finals. So we have now B team. This will be the second team in the B group, and that is Asia's Royals. Congratulations, you are the second team in the B group. Ale. Sorry, A in the second group, second team in the A group. And this is the B group, second team. And that is Plummy Fighters. Your second team, B group in the Pool B, second team is a Plummy Fighters. The next spin will go for the third team in the A group. Pool A, third team will be Kokal Shai Strikers, the hero of the auctions, the king of the auctions, Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. This is B 3 alle. And this is the third team in the B pool, Al Irshad Avenger. And this is the 4th team in the A pool, that is KP Chai Heroes. Congratulations, and you are the 4th team in the A pool. And of course, spin it or not, this will be the Street Wall Stars, the 4th team in the B group. That's it from the pool division. Without any wasting further time, we thank you so much for your patience and wonderful time that we had here. Congratulations for all the team and captains. Good luck for the Cricket Festival of Nadapuram Premier League Season 4. Congratulations. Good night. Signing off from Nadapuram Season 4 Player Auction. Thank you so much, guys. We have food as arranged already. You can proceed with that and enjoy your food. Good night and take care, and wish you good luck for entire team members, captains, and all the sponsors. Once again, Nadapuram Premier League Season 4, the title sponsored by Al Irshad Computer Group and our official franchise, Al Irshad Computer Group. KP Chai, Sweet World, Zaitoon Sizzlers, Eat and Drink, Asia's and Plummy Fighters, Kokal Shai, and our jersey sponsors, Mashad Restaurant. Thank you so much for your support, and it's wonderful to have you on this evening. Thank you once again. Signing off, you're watching live on Voice of Mujib and at UAE Crick Vibe. Do subscribe and like the channel. Thank you so much. Signing off, Riju. Good night and wish you good luck.